one in Southern California in having a drill. And that's when the Great Southern California Shakeout was born, at the idea of having a region-wide drop, cover, hold-on drill, and it's going to be on November 13th.
At a precise time, correct?
10 a.m. November 13th, where we're asking everyone to practice what you do to protect yourself in an earthquake, which is drop to the floor, take cover, and hold on to, if you're under a desk, hold on to it and move with it if it starts to move.
Now let's talk a minute, in addition to doing that kind of exercise, which for those of us who were in the 50s under the threat of atomic bombs, that's what we were supposed to do, as if our desktops could protect us, but we got very familiar with that kind of scenario. What else can families do to be ready in case we have a major earthquake?
Well, let me step in there. You know, one of the things I want to mention too is the importance of what you just said, the self-reliance. And you and I have talked about, what services can you expect in the 5th District? Well, what services can you expect citywide? And we've seen, things have happened with Katrina, now Gustav and Ike. I mean, there are going to be natural disasters, and you have to be able to take care of yourself. We say for 5 days. So for 5 days, you need enough food, you need enough water. And just the water component, however many members in the family you have, each person needs a gallon of water a day to take care of their drinking needs, sanitation needs, and cleaning. Backup
prescription medicines, people don't realize that they need medications to make sure that, what they normally can get from a pharmacy, they may not be able to get for a couple of days. And
then also if the building collapses.
And animal food too.
Exactly. What do you do with your pets? That's very important also, because one of the main components too, after there's an earthquake where you have collapse, is the sheltering that goes on. And most shelters do not take animals in. So do you have, in part of your plan, what are you going to do with your pets? Who are you going to call to let you know that your family is okay? And as you know, we've become so dependent on cell phones or electronic devices that still a hardline phone is very important. And if the cell phones are out, or someone outside of this region, which would be heavily impacted on the communication side, to let them know the family members are safe or where you can actually meet up.
You might want to explain that for people who are watching, that the regular landlines actually don't go down as frequently as the cell lines do, because the cell lines have satellites and other things, not satellites, but microwave towers and things like that. And they found this just in the last earthquake, that people jammed their cell phones so much by calling that they weren't able to get through, but they could pick up, their landline and get a hold of people.
What happened in the Chino Hills earthquake at the end of July is that because the phone companies normally only provide a certain percentage of the lines that we need, with everyone trying to call, the cell phones were fine, like the towers and everything in that earthquake. In a big earthquake on the southern San Andreas, it may not be that case. Right. But also, even in a major earthquake, our phone lines will be cut off from calling locally so that the emergency responders can have access to lines. You'll only be able to, once the phones do come up, only be able to call other states or out of the area, which is why you want to have someone everyone in your family can report into.
Well, we'll put your website online too so people can see. If they want to log on to it, what kind of things will they find there besides signing up to participate in the massive exercise that's going to go on that day?
On the shakeout.org website, you can find a script for you to have for your day. So if you don't know how to do an earthquake drill, besides simply drop, cover, hold on type of drill, businesses and government agencies and nonprofit organizations will find scripts with kind of different levels of what you can do on that day, from a simple to advanced drill.
That's good, because what we're going to do in our district is we're going to kind of put a challenge out to all of our neighborhood organizations in the 5th, and we're working with your organization so that if people log on, we can see which neighborhoods can register the most people, because we think it's really important. Just knowing that, and that's one of the things this article said, is that out of sight, out of mind. We just got through the last earthquake. People are kind of, they let their guard down, and the problem remains is that, these are inevitable things that are going to happen, so we need to be a lot more vigilant than I think we have been in the past.
We do want everyone to participate. As of today, we have 3 million people throughout Southern California who are signed up to participate in the Shakeout.
That's wonderful. And you know what? We're done. But we've got a lot more to do in the city of Long Beach, particularly about getting us ready for an earthquake. I want to thank you, Chief, for being here, and really thank the men and women in your department. You do an outstanding job. But as you know, we need to be there to help, because you're not going to be able to be every place, and we don't expect you to be. So it's very helpful to hear that these other programs are going on, and we're going to get you a number of people to sign up from the city of Long Beach. And I know, Casey, you're involved in a lot of activities that are going to be coming out so that we can get the entire city really involved in this effort with the CERT people, because this is perhaps one of, I think, the most important things we can do to make sure that this city is protected. I'm Councilwoman Jerry Schipske with the 5th Council District. I want to thank you for viewing Heart of the City, and I hope you'll tune in next week. Thanks a lot.